Wait.
The recording started. I'm not editing this out either.
Oh no!
Okay.
That sounds
Welcome back to the podcast. This is the Infinite Agenda. I am joined today by Kyran,
What's up?
Steel,
Yo.
and Leadge.
Me?
By the way, the
Sorry.
guy speaking is
I
Sage.
couldn't think of what to say. I was trying to think of something funny to say, and I ruined it.
All right. We're just
Also,
going to be continuing
hold up.
the
By the way,
discussion.
the guy speaking is Sage. He didn't introduce himself.
Nah, no need. They knew.
That-
They knew who it was.
Wait for their cheat needed.
They already know.
All right.
Actually.
So basically, we're just going to be continuing the discussion. And we're going to start it off with my own idea, which is another versus. I have first up Deku up into season 3 in My Hero, not in season 4 because not all of this is finished. So we're just going to end him on season 3 versus Zabuza Mochi from Naruto.
Okay, so we're talking about a Deku who can go up to 8%.
Full cowling.
Full cowling.
Can go up to 100%. Yeah, yeah.
No, but without hurting himself, 8%.
Okay.
True, but he's going against an evil person, so he could and can do that.
All right. Let me give, as I seem to be having doing, a quick rundown of the character's abilities. Deku has a power that makes him both stronger and faster, and able to withstand a little bit more.
Damage.
Well, he does take less damage, a little bit.
Definitely
But,
take less
Takes
damage.
more,
At
actually.
100%, he could destroy a skyscraper in one punch, roughly. Is that accurate?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, like it would, like if he hit it from the top, it would crumple down, like to the bottom, for instance. But that's 100%, and if he uses 100% at his current state, it
Hold on.
breaks the bones of his arm, for instance.
Sorry, real quick, in like episode 3, maybe, he used a 100% punch where he did not make direct contact, but it blew out like 8 floors.
Yeah, that's, I mean, the speed of it
Just
causes a
wind
sonic.
pressure.
Yeah, exactly. So that's
we
an
can
example of
say
that.
with
Was that
direct
100%? He didn't
contact-
say it.
It was.
I don't think he had
broke his
control, but
arm. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. He didn't have control yet, so it was 100%. But we could say with direct contact, it would be even more damage than that.
Yeah, but it does break all of the bones in that limb.
It does.
disabling it.
Yeah.
Completely.
Okay, so that's his, and then Leadge, would you care to explain Zabuza's abilities if that's fresh on your mind? If not,
I
Sage
can
or
do it as
Steel.
well.
Yeah.
I can. Who do you want to explain it?
Ledge.
Yeah,
Go
Leadge,
ahead.
go ahead.
Alright, Zabuza is an elite ninja swordman, the 7 elite ninja swordmen of the mist. He has a sword that regenerates by the, what was it?
The blood.
Salt? By the
Iron.
iron in the blood.
Yeah.
By
Oh,
killing people. So if it breaks or scratches or dulls, just simply cutting it will regenerate it to its perfectly sharpened state.
Jeez.
Pretty
It's a
metal.
very large sword.
Ha ha, metal.
yes. Very heavy. But wielded. quite nicely.
He also has the
Not so
ability
fast.
to
He
use
is water style.
water
he
style,
uses
yeah.
water
Water style, yes.
clones, and his signature mist jutsu. What he does is
Ooh.
he covers the entire area in mist, and you can't really see anything. But Zabuza knows where you are.
From mist displacement. Now I'm realizing he's quite strong. I knew all that stuff. But like I just hadn't considered all at once.
Yeah.
Once
Yeah.
again, the battlegrounds are the Chunin exam,
Chunin exams.
200 foot wide, 200 foot diameter circle with 50 foot high walls all around it, forest trees on about a fourth of the field, and then open field on the rest.
So
Yes.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Just from talking about the mist jutsu that he has, that Ledge just mentioned, I feel like if he used that right out the gate, and he was able to catch Deku unawares, he would kill him. Like,
That's the
here's
problem,
thing.
though.
Here's the difference too, is that Deku's not gonna be trying to kill him.
But he will
Zabuza
be on
is
high
gonna be
alert.
Trying to kill Deku.
The thing is, they don't know each other's abilities, but they know that they're both fighting to defeat the other person. Zabuza, however, is going to kill Deku, but Deku does not have that intent. However, he knows that he's going to be coming for him to defeat him. So I think he's going to be ready to move.
Yes. Can I add something?
Yeah.
So whenever Deku is faced with an actual villain not necessarily evil, but yes, let's just say he always can use 100% on them safely, and he does. So, for instance, muscular, or who else did he use 100% on? It doesn't matter. Basically, he will use 100% if necessary. Zabuza is a bad person, so he will use that if necessary.
Well,
if
that
he
does
realizes
bring to
Zabuza was
mind,
trying to kill him.
if he used 100%, like, he would be able to clear out the mist with 100%.
Ooh.
That's a
He'd
good
have
point.
to with the wind
Ooh,
pressure.
that is correct. A single flick actually would clear
Yeah.
out.
A clear path.
He could give up a finger and
Okay. He's
clear
back
it.
in the
But
fight.
I don't think Zabuza's evil.
No.
He might seem
Zabuza's
evil
definitely
to
not.
Deku.
He's not evil, but in
He
this
just
fight, he's
grew up
fighting him
in
as if
the blood
where he
mist.
was in the bridge.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he has kind of been bad his whole life up until the end. So we're talking about him
Well,
on
that's
the
kind
bridge.
of like where
Zabuza,
he was.
not after.
Like, he didn't have any other choice.
Oh, I know,
Yeah.
but still, he's trying to kill Deku.
To Deku, he would seem pretty evil, even if we know some of the underlying nuance of the character.
Right. Zabuza's speed is not super fast. Now he's a ninja and he can kind of appear places
Jonin
because
level.
of the mist. Jonin level, obviously, super dangerous. His sword swinging speed is unhuman for that heavy of a sword.
Yeah. Are we going to
But-
say that Jonin level is faster than Deku's current speed?
No. Well, dang.
Okay, hold on.
It's Naruto, so maybe.
Speed comparison. Ooh. Honestly, I feel like they're kind of equal.
I'm gonna do this scientifically.
I'd say they're about equal.
Well,
Yeah,
if it-
so they're
if it-
about equal, I'm thinking.
So here's the thing, though. If they're pretty equal, would it not kind of devolve into an endurance match? And then at that point, I feel like the natural toughness level of a shinobi kind of kicks in there.
True.
Deku's just a high
I
school
would say, okay, obviously Deku's tough in comparison to his
He is.
universe. No, I'm saying
Deku
he is
swim?
tough. He can break his own limbs and still stay conscious, which is insane.
That actually, that's terrifying. When you think about it.
But on the other hand, Zabuza can do almost the exact same thing with both of his limbs completely disabled, can still kill a bunch of people.
Hey guys, okay, so I found something on speed. You'll like this. In the Gaara arc, Naruto and company reach the Sand Village from Konoha, the Leaf Village, within 2 to 3 days. If we go out of logic and assume that the show Naruto world is as big as our planet, which it clearly isn't, but still, then we would have about 40,000 kilometers to travel in 72 hours, which is about 555.56 kilometers per hour. But we need to include the fact they sleep too. If they do sleep, which we
Probably
see that they
4
do,
hours a night, maybe.
can be guessed to 46 hours each day, meaning 40,000 kilometers in 60 hours, which is 666 kilometers per hour. This means that they go roughly about 185 times the speed of sound on a regular basis.
Okay, all right.
Even
Ignore that.
first of all, that math's probably a little fun. But second,
Head
their
cannon.
running speed
Don't
to
go off
get
of
from
head
point A.
cannon.
Well, their running speed to get from point A to point B is several leagues slower than their speed in a fight trying to
I'm going to guess roughly 50 to
That's
70
endurance
miles per
race.
hour for their speed.
for the speed across the trees.
Yeah.
probably.
That's
But
what
they
I'm
would be
thinking, yeah.
much faster than that, I think. In
Yes, in a
actual
fight.
because it's not. An
They definitely
endurance
are, because they
thing, it's
basically disappear.
Yeah.
Now, Zabuza doesn't too much. He does appear behind him a lot, but I think a lot of that had to do with the mist anyway. So, for realistic sake, I don't think he has, Rock Lee speed or something.
I'm
I
trying
mean,
to
he
see.
doesn't.
maybe 100 miles per hour ish.
Yeah. Mhm.
Do we think Deku can match that?
That's a good question. Okay, season 3 Deku.
I don't know if
At
season
8%,
three could
he
match
was
that.
moving around 40 to 45 miles per hour. That's what I
Okay.
found here.
Okay.
So he
Um,
is slightly slower than a Jonin.
One thing, Zabuza could cover the field in water. I know Zabuza can fight in water. Can Deku?
That's
He
true.
can flick the water
underwater?
away, personally. That's what I think.
That
That's
is
true. He'd have to
It
give
does
up more
waste a
Well,
finger.
hey, if
I
he
know.
covers the
well,
field-
actually, no, he gives up half a finger.
If he covers the field in water, he could go to the trees. Deku could.
He could,
Yes.
yeah. And he's at that point using full cow pretty proficiently.
At 8%, yeah. Very consistently with 8%.
Okay.
I have 100% belief that
think
Deku
about it.
could tree run similar to Naruto characters.
There's not a ton of trees.
Yeah.
in arena.
Because remember, he did that obstacle course, and it was like the same thing.
Not a ton, no, but he could reach Zabuza from there. I think he could probably go from one edge of the arena to the other, like from the wall, from wall to wall.
True, but it'd be
I could see
too
that.
vulnerable and predictable. Like, it's too far away
It's
to
true.
where Zabuza could clearly see his exact path, and he doesn't have a physical
Yeah.
weapon, just
He
himself.
doesn't have a
Can't
way to
slice in
change
half.
course. It's not like he has.
So does Zabuza have that kind of water style jutsu? Can he cover the entire field in water?
I want to say yes.
I don't think.
I don't
so.
know, because the
He
water
only used
dragon
water style
didn't even
from a-
summon it, right? It like
He
moved
used
the
it from a
water.
source.
The only character I've seen cover the entire field in water was
Some may.
was that the shark guy?
Yeah.
I don't ever remember his name, but him. And the Neji said that he had a
Kisame.
Kisame, that he had a ridiculous amount
Chakra.
of chakra, exactly, close to Naruto's or
Well,
more.
that's
Actually, yeah, he has the most in the
Samihara. Well,
Yeah.
first of all, Samihara like absorbs other people's
Well,
chakra.
that's what I'm saying. Like Zabuza did not have his amount of chakra, so I doubt he could have summoned that much water. Which is about how much you needed.
Probably has less natural
Kakashi.
chakra reserves than Naruto even.
Oh, he does for
And
sure.
Naruto
Naruto has one of the
decent
largest.
amount.
Naruto has a ton of chakra. He's an
He's
Because
talking
he's
about
pretty-
natural.
No,
not
we
Yeah.
know.
Fox, right?
He has a ton of
Okay.
his own natural because he has to counter the foxes.
Yes.
Well, it's also because of his lineage, but you'll learn more about that later.
Yeah.
Um,
All right, so
But
look
yeah,
at their attack power. So we have on the one hand, Deku has extreme strength that one punch would probably win the fight.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, obviously 100% would, but
he wouldn't
so
use
he has
100%
the ability to
probably.
win the fight with one punch, but Zabuza has the ability to win the fight with one
One
slice.
cut, yeah.
So I think, let's say close range, can Deku dodge Zabuza's sword? That's the main question I'm trying to.
I don't know, because he's a
I don't think
master
so.
swordsman.
He's so
Okay,
fast
so
with
if
sword.
hold on, if you think about it this way,
Kakashi could barely
Deku's
Zab-
pretty agile, but
Zabuza has a lot of experience fighting both armed and unarmed opponents. So he can predict their movements, and he has a lot of battle experience, period. Deku does not have a whole lot of battle experience,
True.
and he has
First
none
year.
against swordsmen.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of experience, I don't
Um,
remember.
One thing, I think Deku would be surprised of how Zabuza has no inquiries about chopping the head off of a kid. Like Zabuza would have no issue with that.
yeah.
Also, I'm
I-
realizing something. Just
No
now
second
as well.
thoughts.
So with Zabuza, as soon as Deku gets in range to punch him, Deku's fast, but Zabuza's mind works fast, and let's say it works faster than his, because I
Okay.
think it does. Zabuza can put the sword in between him and Deku and brunt the punch, like completely. Take
Well,
the
if you
punch.
also think
Yeah, it's
about it, he
big enough.
uses shoot style.
It's not gonna break the sword. It
He
should.
uses shoot style, so if he uses his foot, which he likely would, his
That
metal
might break the
shoes might
sword.
break the sword.
Okay, so he does have shoot style.
Also,
It's
there
C3.
are water
There are what?
clones. Zabuza can make water clones.
That's true.
Yeah. And he
Good
uses
point.
them for misdirection.
Okay, I
So-
wasn't really considering shoot style.
I mean, that's his
true,
main
because
weapon right now.
That's his main technique at the moment. So shoot style could be pretty effective. I want to say though that there's two ways that I feel like Deku could lose this fight. So point A would be by the fact that Zabuza has literally no hesitation. Like Leadge was saying, that he just he's just gonna go for the kill.
Yeah.
And Deku does tend to hesitate a little bit.
And he builds
because
up to
he still
eventually
tries
using
to think-
100%.
Yeah, he still tries to think strategically. So the other way for me is that if he does resort to using 100% on things just to try and kill him, because I don't think 8% is strong enough against Zabuza, to be honest with you.
I mean, a body's still a body.
Shinobi body is tougher. Like, if you watch, they get thrown through brick walls all the time, and it barely even
That's
slows
true.
them down. So
yeah, the more chakra you have, the more durable you are.
that's
so-
true, but Zabuza doesn't have a small.
Explains a lot
I
of
know.
Naruto.
I know. I'm saying
Uh,
that does mean that Zabuza.
So
goes
we're
out
talking
into
about
rage.
if we want to say that Deku resorts to using 100%, giving up one limb at a time, one finger, one arm, whatever it is that he uses, he's eventually going to run out of limbs. And the only way he would win that fight is if he defeats Zabuza before that happens. I don't know if that would be the case or not.
No.
Because
And
of
that's
Well,
why
Zabuza.
the
I
other
like
thing,
Zabuza.
the other thing that you
Hate him.
didn't take into consideration is his strikes with how much space they cover. Zabuza might be surprised by the range of one punch.
Maybe.
It'd be like, I mean, it's stronger than Sakura and Tsunade. Like they have strong
Yes.
strikes,
Yeah,
but they don't
it
literally
is.
cause the wind to cut through things.
Yeah, they invest their chakra into like dirt and stuff like that to disrupt it.
His water prison wouldn't work either, because either he would try to use it as a water clone and the water clone will get blown away before he could activate it, or he would just flick a finger and it would shatter the water prison.
But also, I do want to say that, like, saying that Deku is stronger than Sakura isn't exactly a rousing commendation.
I included
So-
Tsunade.
Okay, well, you know.
All right, who else is a mainly physical character from Naruto?
Mainly, like,
Technically, no one's
Just pure
supposed to be
strength.
stronger than them.
I'll say, I'm
them
sorry,
too.
the fourth Raikage.
Oh,
yeah,
I
he's pretty
don't know much
physical.
about him.
oh yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, Rock Lee's an easy example of a pretty physical
Yeah, but
character.
I mean, his
my
kicks
guy.
cut through trees, but still.
Yeah, still not as, like, much pure power.
Right.
Especially if you're talking about somebody who doesn't use chakra to create more destructive force. But that's the thing. That's the Naruto universe. They use chakra.
That's fair.
They're ninjas.
Okay,
This
so
is
let's
still a
wrap
tough
this
one.
discussion up. I'm leaning Zabuza for a couple of reasons. Here's the parameters of Deku would have to win the fight. He'd have to not get cut at all, and if let's say when he gets cut, he's losing whatever it is. He's like if it's gonna go through, basically. So he's either losing a hand, limb, whatever.
Or blood.
Yeah.
So he'd have to not get cut, and if he's going into attack, he's like I said, fast. But Zabuza's his swinging of the sword, I think, is going to be faster than Deku's either kick or punch. So
Yeah.
in limb speed, Zabuza has him. That means even if Zabuza gets hit, Deku's not going to start off with 100% anyway. And Zabuza getting hit's kind of slim the more I think about it, because Deku's movement speed is good, but his actual limb speed is kind of standardish, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So I'm going to give it to Zabuza because of that.
All right.
I can't say I disagree with that, honestly.
Let me think on it for a second.
Yeah.
Ledge, what's your opinion?
I'm gonna go with Zabuza as well, because he fought Kakashi, and Kakashi, although he was protecting little kids, he wasn't landing a bunch of hits on.
I'm going to go with Zabuza as well because of the fact that he has considerably more experience than Deku, and Deku has no experience fighting a swordsman, let alone one of the most experienced swordsmen ever.
Okay.
And someone that bloodthirsty. Like,
I mean, he's
Deku's
experienced
not
that
used to
before, to be honest, but
And Zabuza does have a lot of resolve. I mean, if Deku hit him with 50%, probably wouldn't matter. He'd probably be down. But, Zabuza got bit everywhere by dogs, and then his arms were like sliced up and stabbed multiple times to where they were useless. But he still went on to kill
Oh
multiple
yeah, his
bad
arms
guys.
were useless. He had like
after
20
that.
swords
In his
in him.
mouth.
He had like
That
20
was,
Oh
swords.
yeah, his back. No, yeah, he had all the
Still
swords
running
and like
through people.
pitchforks and whatever
Hey,
they
guys,
had.
you
Stabbed
remember
him
that?
to his back.
Remember that thing where one of us talked at a time? That was 3 people. I heard
got
none of
excited.
that.
alright. Oh, shoot. Let
You're
Ledge say it.
saying the same thing.
Roughly, yeah.
Alright, we were saying the exact same thing. He was running through a crowd, and he got multiple like pitchforks, all types of swords stuck in his back. His arms are already useless. Had a kunai in his knife and cut off
In his mouth.
the drug lord's head.
Good correction. That was mandatory.
It was, yes. Yeah, so he's a little bit
being stabbed
crazy.
through the lungs, like through the back, you get so much lungs, whatever other organs.
But he was
So,
fine. He was
that's
totally fine.
All of his squishy bits in his torso.
all
probably
the
got
squishy
stabbed.
stuff,
Squishy bits.
ribs, everything.
Words you never want to hear.
I feel like Deku would probably go all out a little bit.
Deku would
His arms.
actually, yeah, because I was
and,
actually.
oh no, he's still after me, almost dead. Ah, what do I do? I'm almost down.
I mean,
Uh,
Deku's resolve is insane. The fact that he can have an arm just shattered to mush and still be conscious and fighting is very, very cool. But it's not
Zabuza's...
quite the
Go ahead.
scale of Zabuza. It's a little bit worse.
But
like
it's
Zabuza
pretty-
being stabbed through his organs like
Yeah,
that is just.
but
stupid.
it is pretty close, and considering
close,
the
yeah.
context of the shows, like Zabuza, that's
so much pain.
not that unusual for
No.
Naruto for people to have that type of resolve. But Deku,
No, it's not.
My Hero Academia, people do not
Definitely.
have that type of resolve.
Yeah, nobody. Well, All Might might, but other than All Might, yeah. So it's
At
like
some
not many.
point, I'm gonna have a topic that like delves into that a little bit more in depth too. But I'll table it because it's too
It's
tangential.
considerably more than. Well, no, wait. Okay, I'm gonna change my thing to Deku, All Might, and Mirio. That's the resolve.
Okay,
that's
fair.
true. Mirio has a whole lot.
Ah, that was cool.
Mirio's,
Zabuza is kind of like that glitch in a battle royale game, where like the enemy goes down to be revived, but they don't go down. They just kind of keep going. Like they don't take damage anymore. They just kind of kill you.
Well, I will behead you without the use of my arms.
Okay, so we do all agree on Zabuza. I do
Correct.
have another matchup I could do that did take a little while, so we could move on to the next subject if you'd like.
Go
It's
on,
not
if
a
you don't
match-
think
it's
it'll
just-
take too long, yeah.
And this shouldn't take too long because we've already established what Zabuza can do. In my opinion, I'm thinking Rock Lee tuning exams versus Zabuza, and I kind of want to explain, I want to hear you guys' thoughts on it, but I have a feeling Rock Lee could definitely win.
So do I.
I'm thinking it just comes down to the speed. I mean,
Question: does Zabuza use Genjutsu?
No.
Okay,
Not
here's
that
my
we're
other point. We know he uses water prison, and we know that Rock Lee has been caught in a water prison trap by a water clone.
okay,
And this is
that is
after
true.
this is after tuning exams.
Ooh.
That is true.
But he got injured really badly in the tuning exams. We want to pretend that.
A little bit of
There were-
clarification,
it
real
doesn't
quick.
matter. This is him fighting
Water
Gara,
prison is when someone uses water to encapsulate someone in a sphere of water, and they cannot move or
Or
breathe. Yeah, it's water. Can't breathe.
Slowly kills you.
Yeah.
Actually, now that I think about it, how did Kakashi last that long in one? Because it was like half an hour.
I
while they,
guarantee.
like strategized.
I guarantee that they have gone through training because they've fought water types before. I guarantee they've gone through training of holding your breath.
For a real long time there, because it took
Yeah.
them forever to get him out of there.
I mean, yeah.
Um,
I'm sure
but
there's techniques.
but yeah. So we're talking about Rock Lee versus Zabuza.
I'm gonna be honest, because of the fact that he literally fought another swordsman who uses water prison, and he casually caught him in a water prison. If Rock Lee didn't have backup, I feel like he would lose because of that. Because he's very out.
But that's one loss.
Okay, but we've only seen Zabuza use water prison on the water, right? On a river.
True, and same with Kasame. It was
Yes.
on water.
It was on a river.
Do you know?
Summoning water, I don't think you summon it. I think you have to have a source of water, which they don't have. So
We're doing this in the
If
tuning
you
exam.
if you highlight.
I feel like he would have
well,
brought
you can have
some
a
with
water
him.
clone, I think, and then turn it into a prison.
Yes, you
I don't
can.
know if
That's
it'd be
what
enough for a
Kisame
full-
did.
That's what Kasame did exactly.
And yeah.
Dang it.
Technically, that's still an option. The percent chance of him using that is kind of weird.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. So if he
What if
knew
he didn't
exactly
have
what
a chance
Rock Lee
to
was
use
going to
it
be
first,
like,
though?
yeah, maybe he could win.
It's not like he could
I
instantly.
don't know.
put
Could
Kakashi
Rock Lee
into
open the
water prison
gates?
on
Because
him.
the reason Rock Lee had Guy outside fighting Kasame, maybe he was just trying to be patient there.
Could he have opened the gates in the tuning exam?
In the water prison?
Inside the water prison?
No. Does he know how to open the gates in the tuning exam?
Yes, he opens the
Yes.
gates against
Okay.
Gara.
I don't remember that.
Okay.
That's a very well remembered.
So I think because
It's
the
a very-
gates doesn't require a
sure.
specific movement, it's all internal. I think he
It
opened
is.
the gates, which would probably be to break the water prison.
All right, take a breath.
Not strength. I
There's
think
lag.
it's like. Okay, it should be fixed now. Yeah, because I think it's like a. I think it would disrupt it either way. It's still-
Yeah.
It is still a little bit, but I heard what you said.
I don't think that the water prison would be the like Deus Ex Machina that you're thinking it would be, Kyran.
Then why didn't he open the gates before? All right.
The guy was still out though.
Your
But
point.
Yeah,
I
but
know
he
what you're
really
saying.
wanted to help Guy.
Yes,
you
but
also-
Shippuden
you
Rock
also
Lee
have
is
to be
like,
able
somehow
to actually
weaker.
capture him into the water prison to start with, and if
Do you
Leadge
think?
was enough that he couldn't get him, it wouldn't matter.
Do you think Rock Lee would be able to sense? Well, he doesn't really have chakra, but do you think he'd be able to tell where
He just can't.
Zabuza is in the
No.
mist? No.
Good point.
No.
Good
He
point.
does not have any specialized abilities that would allow him to
But
do
he
that.
is he very aware of his surroundings typically?
Rock Lee?
Yeah, like you can't really
Pretty
catch him by
aware.
surprise.
But he
Not
doesn't have like
necessarily.
extra senses or anything.
No, he is definitely not specifically good at that because he got tripped by the sand. Gara slipped away and switched with the sand clone, so that is not his specialty.
Okay,
All of
so
us have
He
if
was
he
in
used the
pain,
mist
but-
and caught him by surprise, all it would take is a cut.
So
or a
are you
slice.
saying that we're having to find out a way that Zabuza would win, as in like he shouldn't?
Well, I'm saying if it's a straight up sword and physical skill versus Rock Lee, and Rock Lee knows where he is. Rock Lee's too fast.
Okay,
He'd get there and he'd beat him.
that's what my point.
But
is.
the thing
But-
is, you have to include ninjutsu, his special abilities.
Zabuza does have, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
Obviously,
don't
we
think
can-
he's gonna. Okay, I don't think he's gonna hit him with the dragon. I don't think that's.
No, I was
possible.
talking about
I think
mist.
it's too. Oh yeah, that.
If he puts
Huh.
out the mist and then goes behind him and basically, cuts through him, he doesn't have Sharingan. He can't tell. He doesn't have any ability that lets him know where he is. So
no. And
He could jump. He can jump. He can jump over the mist, but then you still can't see him.
yeah.
and he can't float in the air.
He can use the walls to jump off of, kind of like Deku, but considerably faster.
Yeah, but he can't hold himself there.
Do you think he has any physical motions that would help dispel the mist any? It
Hmm.
wouldn't be at the
Oh,
same level
hurricane.
as Deku.
Leaf
Rising Leaf Hurricane.
That's a lot of wind, right? I think like there's wind in that.
There's some. It wouldn't be, like I said, not the same level as Deku, but he could
Well, the
probably
thing
extend
is-
it at least a bit.
I
I
mean, the
think
mist
he
is
could
controlled
clear
by him. I
some.
don't think he can clear it all.
At least enough. Oh, it's controlled. Oh, shoot.
It is controlled.
I think he could clear it enough to see Zabuza or just drown
for a
himself.
second, maybe. Like, because
Yeah.
if he knew where he was, like, the speed that Lee can call up is insane, even without the gates. Insane.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
it's like Raikage speed. With gates. With the gates.
with the gate. Okay, with the gates, I'll give.
No,
that.
yes, not just
Not
with the
without.
weights off.
Raikage speed is insane.
Sure, yeah, I know all about that.
We're leaving it at that, okay?
One thing I realized, guys, is any titles of characters later on that we've discussed, don't use any of their titles because probably doesn't know them. I'm not.
Hey,
gonna
when
drop
you're
their name.
editing, edit that part out because just used your name. Okay, keep going.
Sorry. Sorry. Jeez.
No, you're good. I just have to tell myself so that when I'm listening and just like casually doing whatever, because I'll listen to these later, I won't just
And
zone out.
your
and I'll go,
brain
hey, oh, okay.
Register.
Like-
Yeah.
I got it. And action. Yeah.
Okay.
What was I talking about?
Don't use
Um,
names. Like,
Okay,
of the
so
characters.
let's assume that somehow Rock Lee locates Zabuza, whatever, gets him up in the air with that first initial kick, and he's on gate 5. What is it, closing? Or the one after the pain?
Uh,
I think 6
it's
is
not-
closing, so I think
it's
5
not
is.
the gate of-
No, 4 is pain.
I think it's closing.
Wait, is
I think
6
5 might be closing.
Gate of Joy?
Yeah, 6 is Gate of Joy. 6 is Gate of Joy. I
And
just
Gate of
watched the
Shock.
scene with
Yes,
guy.
so it's closing. So closing is 5.
Yep.
Oh, you know what's funny is
Totally makes
Rock Lee
sense.
actually opened number 4, and then when he did all that stuff was all during number 4. He opened number 5 before the last hit on Gara. I always imagine it being already at gate of closing for that whole interaction, but it's not. It's actually on gate 4.
Huh.
So anyway,
Interesting.
if Rock Lee popped him up into the air, out of the fog, even if out of the fog, it doesn't matter. He knows exactly where he hit him. I think the barrage and then like the move would be too much for Zabuza.
So to be honest, I'm gonna call it 50-50.
Although, yeah, because we
I'm-
have discussed
yeah, 'cause-
Zabuza's level of resolve,
Yeah.
too.
That's true.
But
And
Lee's is
here's the
extremely
weird-
high as well.
Gara. Wait. Yeah, because Gara was after he got hit by that barrage, he still rose his hand enough to move the sand, which is stupid. He did have armor, actually. He had sand armor. So
Yeah,
it's a
he
little
always
different.
does. Yeah.
Otherwise, he would have probably could have died.
Yeah. All right. So to wrap this part up, I'm gonna call it 50-50 on my end.
I'm gonna say yeah. There's a little bit of on the variable side. We have like Zabuza could win if he did this and this, whereas Rock Lee pretty much only does this, which he would win if Zabuza didn't do the other things, but he could win. So yeah, it's 50-50. So it's kind of
real quick. Why don't
I'd like to see
I
that
ask
fight.
Leadge what he thinks, because he's muted and I don't know how long he has been.
There we go.
All right, shoot. I've been talking this whole time.
That's a loss.
It's,
That's why we don't hit the mute button, ladies and
kind of
gentlemen.
final thoughts for
Are we
you, Leadge, on
conclusions?
Say what?
Zabuza versus.
All right, Steel, stop. Let him talk.
All right. So the final thought, Zabuza absolutely stomps Rock Lee. He's going to cover the entire stage with mist, all right? Rock Lee's going to run around pretty fast in the third gate or something. He's going to find him, all right? Go to kick him. It's a clone. You got trapped in water. Just enough time to cut in half. Like...
Okay, so I say 50-50. Sage says 50-50.
Let
And
me add
Leadge says
note.
Zabuza.
Sorry, Ledge's note. Got that out. All right, let me add something on that.
I think it lagged out, so
But-
you're good.
We have
I'm
two
not kidding.
things. The variable of surprise. All right.
Right.
First off, Zabuza's going to be surprised about Rock Lee's speed. Even if he starts with the weights, without, doesn't matter. He is going to be surprised, especially when he starts opening gates. Now, Rock Lee can be surprised by like a clone and a water prison. But like I said, water prison, not 100% it would hold him. I know it held him in the
When is
I know,
Rock gonna see him?
show. But we're talking about Zabuza's going to be way more surprised of Rock Lee's speed, who he's never dealt with someone that fast. I highly doubt he's ever dealt with someone that fast. Whereas Rock Lee, hasn't dealt with anybody like that either. But I don't know. I'm still saying 50-50. But that's what the thing is. Like a Ganning beating Zabuza is insane. That's why I like Rock Lee so much.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, just to put like my final word on it, I'm agreeing with Kyran and Sage. I think it's about 50-50. Could go either way, just depending on exactly what
Yeah.
moves they use. But they both have the
You realize-
capacity to beat the other.
That was
you
like
realize how cool that is because it's Kakashi, Sasuke, Sakura, and Naruto versus Zabuza and Haku.
All right.
And then Rock Lee single-handedly taking Zabuza on at 50.
I'd like to
He
point out.
wouldn't.
I'd like to
Oh
point
my
out that
gosh.
Steele's
When
last
is Rock
word
Lee
was
gonna
like
see him?
50 words.
When's Rock Lee gonna see him?
Yeah.
Rock Lee
There's
can move
mist
that fast
everywhere.
and see and comprehend. I don't know. He's so fast though.
Zabuza's gonna be behind him and cut him in half, or he's gonna find one and it's just gonna be a clone. Like let's say there's
Okay.
5 Zabuzas, only one's real.
How far do you think
He
your vision
can't
is in the
see-
fog?
I don't know,
Even
like
if it's
5
a
feet,
foot.
maybe. The length of the sword.
Then Rock Lee zooming around at Mach 7 is gonna see
Yeah, he'd think
something
he
5
found
feet in
one,
front of him,
then
and it's gonna be
just a water
something
trap.
basically sitting still. Maybe. We'll never know.
We got
Since
unexpectedly.
you
All right, so
You guys
Alright,
all went
damn
to
it.
50. I went Zabuza.
Cut that out.
This
Ledge.
was all Ledge.
Dang it, Sage.
okay, Ledge. So you're saying Zabuza would win 100%?
Yes, 100%.
I'd like
If
Zabuza.
Kakashi couldn't
I-
see him, Rock Lee would never see him.
He does have Sharingan.
Yeah.
That's a good point. But who says he's gonna? I don't know. He does use mist a lot.
I believe that Leadge
It's a small
is describing
arena. It's
a
not
win
hard
condition.
to fill up that
Several win
entire
conditions.
place with fog.
No, it's not hard. But is that always his go-to move? Wait, no, they start the fight, not have used anything. He almost always uses mist before they even know where. Hello.
Sage.
Yeah, everyone went quiet at the
What?
same time.
I stopped
understand what you
talking. I was
said.
waiting for feedback. Wait, did I cut out?
You
You
did.
have been quite a bit.
Not as bad as it could be.
I think my point was, and this is not 100% true, but he almost always has used mist before the enemy really gets either close or sees him at all. So in the tuning exam, when you're starting 30,
Yeah.
40 feet from each other,
It's preemptive.
Rock Lee went straight in on Gara. I'm telling you, he went straight in. So assuming that, we're talking about tuning exams, Rock Lee anyway. I know it's probably cutting out right now because I'm at red bar.
Not too bad.
He might go straight in on Zabuza, which is not enough time for the mist to form.
Wait, if we're talking tuning exams, Rock Lee, how did he move after his fight with Gara?
No, tuning exams, like as he's going into the ring to fight Gara. That's the Rock Lee.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
That level. Yeah, I mean, I think that pretty much sums it up. Like,
So,
I understand why Ledge thinks Zabuza
Ledge,
would win.
your
but
whole
I
point
think
is
it's
the mist, right? Like that's his
My
advantage
whole
is the
point is
mist
the mist and the clone.
and the
Rock Lee
clone and
can't
water
see
prison.
through that. Yeah, well, it doesn't have to be a water prison. It could just be a normal clone. Like you attack it, and it's like that's not the real one.
I mean, Rock Lee didn't necessarily have to dodge too much while in that speed state, but let's assume he definitely could dodge almost
He
anything.
could if he
did
could
not.
see it.
Yeah. Okay, you said 5 feet though, like which is thick fog. I'm giving 5 feet is too much distance for Rock Lee's speed to not dodge a sword.
That's the
I know it
distance of the
swipes
sword.
through really fast, but look at Rock Lee. He's gone.
How do you look at Rock Lee? He's too
I
fast.
think
Exactly.
we're getting to the point where we're repeating points.
Yeah, I think it's time to move past this. So, Ledge thinks Zabuza. I think,
Yeah.
Sage, I don't think you're 50-50. I think you think Rock Lee would win.
That's because I want to make a good argument for Rock Lee.
I
'Cause
still think
I want him to be able to win, and I kind of think, like, realistically, he could.
I think a solid 50-50, and I think Steel does as well.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. So I think we're probably.
I'm mostly just
pretty-
combating Ledge on it. I would say, realistically, in a fight, it's probably a 50-50, but I have to fight for Rock Lee because he's fighting for...
Okay, so if
Zabuza.
we're going by exact numbers, technically Zabuza would win. But if we're going by a consensus or number of votes, the result is 50-50
Yes.
for Zabuza and Rock Lee from Chunin exams.
All right, that resolves that. Let's move on to the next subject, which is
Not result.
Steel has a topic.
Yeah, I do. So this one's a pretty simple premise. Probably won't take as much time as the previous subject, and it's set in the My Hero Academia universe. I just want to know everybody's favorite character in My Hero Academia and everyone's least favorite character. A quick disclaimer here is all of us have Mineta as our least favorite character, I'm pretty sure.
The one who makes the purple balls,
Yeah, we're
which
just
sounds
gonna...
worse than it is. If you don't know what it is, look it up.
He's just as bad as he sounds, okay? We're just going to exclude him. We're going to pretend he doesn't exist in that universe
Agreed.
for the sake of making it a little bit more interesting. So why don't we go around? Actually, Sage.
How do we go around?
Don't start with me. I'm trying to find my least
Fine.
favorite person.
Kyran, do you have anybody in mind?
Okay, I know, like, Lemillion is really cool.
Yeah.
And honest, he is one of my favorite. But thinking about it, one character that kind of sticks out to me, obviously I haven't really given this hours of thought, but I've forgotten his name. What is the mind control guy from class?
Shinso.
Shinso. Okay, so Shinso,
I love it.
let me explain the character to those who don't remember or don't know. He is a character in the My Hero Academia universe that has the ability to control people's bodies, actions, everything, if they speak to him. So the thing is, he didn't make it to the actual hero class. He's sort of in the lower general studies class. And the thing is, his entire life, he's had people telling him, "Ooh, that's a great villain power. Like you must like you could rob a bank. You could do stuff like that." And all he wanted to be was a hero. And he didn't let that get to his head. He didn't let people get into his head. He pushed past everything. He still tried his hardest, and he still, regardless of everything, is doing his best to show people that his ability has the potential for him to be a hero. And that kind of resolve and strength of character is something that I think is something that a lot of other characters in this universe wouldn't have if they were in his position.
Yeah.
That's why I'd say he's my favorite. I don't know for least favorite. I'd have to think about it for a second. You'll have to come back to me for least favorite. You'll have to give me a minute.
Okay, I'll go next then. All right. Yeah, that's a good point. And there's a bunch of characters I like, so obviously these people
Yeah.
probably already know my favorite anyway. But you know, there are characters I like a lot. I mean, I like Best Genius. I always liked him a lot, even though you didn't see too much of him. He was just always kind of cool.
True.
But my favorite's gonna be Mirio Togata, and a lot of that comes from if you see like his fight against what's his name? What's that guy's name?
Oh,
I don't know why.
it's a Dicky Strike. Overhaul? Yes.
Overhaul.
Nice, Ledge.
Thank you. So
He's
in that fight, we see like
Oh,
what
sorry,
made him my favorite character by far is the zero hesitation from losing your quirk to whatever, like his next actions was not even a realization of, oh shoot, I lost my quirk. It was just like it was nothing to him. He instantly went back into fighting Overhaul, and it was crazy to have that. Like, and that's what I said. I'd put Deku in that exact position. I guarantee you, it would have been a different outcome. I guarantee you, Deku would have died, because as soon as Deku loses his quirk, obviously he's a weaker person. That's not it though. It's it's the shock of, I just lost my quirk, and then Overhaul would have attacked immediately again, which he did, and Deku would not have had really anything to do. He would have died.
Well,
and also something else to add in there was the fact that Togata wasn't just attacking him; he was trying to protect a little girl.
Yes.
Yeah, and
he did
fought
flawlessly.
like half of that fight without a quirk.
Yes, and then the fighting without a quirk is stupid, because you have two people with quirks, very strong quirks,
that
against
could kill you if they touched you.
Yeah, I mean, he can move matter in any direction. How do you can predict that? You don't. You just get stabbed by it, like he did in the fight, and still didn't stop.
Yeah.
It's just insane to think about. So that's why he's my favorite character.
I cannot disagree with you. Actually, let's go ahead and we'll all do our favorites first.
Okay. Because I remember mine now.
Since Kyran didn't get his. Leadge, do you have a favorite in mind?
Yeah. What's that invisible girl's name?
Hagakure?
All right,
Hagakure?
Her, because I don't think a lot of people realize how much cake she's backing. No, no, my favorite is Red Riot.
I knew it was a joke. I knew it was a joke.
It's because of his determination and personality. I like Red Riot the most.
Oh, he's so positive. Like, I love him so much.
Great fight. Great fight.
Good character development.
Yeah.
He had two good fights like right in a row too.
Oh yeah. Kirishima amazing. And just like going back to Kyran's favorite character for a quick second,
Shinso.
You earned a lot of brownie points with me, because Shinso I love Shinso so much. It is my dear wish that one day Mineta will be expelled and Shinso will take his place in class one day.
Honestly,
that is my dear
wish.
That'd be amazing. Imagine how many times does Mineta say completely useless things that are just
every
there
time
for the
he
points?
speaks.
Every time he speaks, it's completely useless. I just But ready for my favorite?
No, I was gonna say something about Ledge's joke. It made me, like, you get really uncomfortable when you realize, when she actually wears clothes, that the invisible girl is literally naked most of the time.
And that's actually
that's concerning.
So one thing about that I think they could address in show. So you notice how Lemillion's hero costume will phase through walls with him because it was used.
Yeah.
It was made using his own DNA. They absolutely, the support
they could definitely do that.
Something like that for Hagakure, and she wouldn't be naked.
But why?
Because
for all of our sake.
Sometimes you're working in the cold or the rain or something. Maybe you just don't want to be unclothed all the time.
What if you bump into somebody? What if you're trying to help somebody?
What if someone stabs you?
What if you're trying to pick someone up?
A bit of protection? Like, I don't know. Yeah, what if you're trying to literally carry someone out from a rescue situation? They don't know that their hand is on your breast.
They do, but it's not. They don't want to acknowledge it.
That's so awkward. So absolutely, the support department needs to come up with a better costume for her, because they could use her DNA to come up with something that was invisible but actually covered.
Oh, and she should have been chosen for the All for One, obviously.
Yes.
Oh my god, that is horrifying.
An invisible, super-powered, super fast.
Crime instantly drops to 0%.
All Might, but
he's always watching.
Who would commit crime? You just walk around.
Where might I be?
Oh my gosh!
Absolutely terrifying.
If you're watching this, I hope we have the sense of mind to include that meme. But it's like the name of all the characters. What their names would be if they became All Might, and like the Invisible Girl was the last one. It was hilarious since like all of them were plays off of Might. Like I don't know, like Might Explosion, for example, for Bakugo was a little bit more in depth. But then for her it was like
Explode.
Yeah, that's what it was. And then for her it's like, where might I be?
That would be scary.
People would know true fear. Like,
Yes.
you wouldn't even,
I'm
Dylan,
talking. I'm literally crime zero.
you wouldn't even
Be anywhere.
jaywalk. Like, imagine you litter and you just hear a voice next to you, and you're like, "Oh no!"
Them
I
sent
am
me to
here.
litter for I am here.
Oh god!
Just right over your shoulder.
She just walks up to you and you feel wind pressure, and you're like, "Oh no! I swear, I'll pick it up. I'll put it in the recycling."
Oh my
Horrifying.
god.
All right. So,
To be
Steele, what's
honest
your
with
favorite
you-
character?
So I thought about this, and I have a lot of like favorite characters. So this is just picking somebody who occurred to me who's not like a super
One we
cliche
already said,
choice.
probably.
I would say Shoto Aizawa, also known as Eraserhead.
His name's
and-
Shoto?
It's Shota. Sorry.
Shota, okay.
Yeah.
you're fine.
So, and the reason I pick him is just
Because he's
A,
Kakashi.
there are a lot of
Pretty much.
similarities.
Get
I'm
the
not gonna
Kakashi.
lie. Okay, you absolutely can call me out for that. That's fine. But I do like his approach to things. It's very far from the stereotypical attitude that a lot of pro heroes have, where he can see the potential of people who don't have, your standard physical type quirk. And I like that about him. For instance, like when he was talking about Shinso in the sports festival, and you could tell he was pointing out something that had probably been bothering him for a while about the entrance exam, because it absolutely prioritizes physical type quirks.
True.
And you can also tell that he's just really creative in the way that he's used his own quirk. Like, I've touched on this before, but he spent over 5 years canonically developing his own martial arts style that involved his capture weapon, so that he can fight against and apprehend villains. Because even after he erases someone's quirk, essentially he's fighting quirkless against them. So
Equally.
equally. He doesn't get an advantage in that. He just erases their advantage. And if they are a mutation type quirk, he can't do anything about that. So if you have a mutation type quirk that makes you stronger, he still has to take you down like a quirkless person would have to. And I just think that's pretty amazing. Also, obviously, I always appreciate the kind of no-nonsense attitude, and it's funny how you can tell he hasn't slept in 3 years. So
It does seem like that.
it really does. But yeah, I just overall like him a lot.
Okay. Now we're just going to go around for least favorite.
All right, I'll start
I-
then.
yeah, go ahead.
My least favorite is the French guy with the belly button laser.
Aoyama. Okay.
What's his name?
Aoyama.
Aoyama.
Yeah.
Aoyama. Okay,
Yeah.
so one, he's mostly useless, and two, like, I'm pretty sure his character is there just to cause confusion. Like, it doesn't make he doesn't make any sense. Most of his input or his comments and conversations are just kind of like off-putting. They're just really
He's very self-absorbed.
yeah, but they're also really confusing. Like sometimes he says something in a conversation that has nothing to do with the conversation, and it doesn't make a lick of sense. So
Yeah. It's almost like
Yeah.
the character was designed as a way for the author to like put really weird thoughts that he had into it. And he's just using him that way.
Okay, I'll go next. I'm actually going to give two for two reasons. One would be my least favorite student. It's like my least favorite good person, and then I have my actual least favorite, which happens to be a bad person. My least favorite student is probably, I want to say it's Kato, the animal whisperer. I don't know if that's his name.
Coda?
Coda.
It's
Coda.
Yep.
Yes. Just because, honestly, don't know how he's even in the class. Same thing with, obviously, Mineta. Like, it's not a strong enough power, even for a sidekick. You have to be in the woods for one, or like basically. So
Well, there's
anyway,
animals in
moving on.
cities.
There's
he's
rats.
not really my least favorite. So my least favorite actually is Moonfish by a good margin, mostly
Ooh.
just because
Oh
it's
my
disgusting.
gosh. Okay, so to give you guys
Who's
background on that,
Moonfish?
The
Moonfish
teeth guy.
is an evil. It's an evil character. He's like in a straitjacket that even covers his eyes, but all of his teeth are blades. Like they literally can
Yeah.
extend
Gross.
and like
Stabs on them.
they can cut in
he attacks
angles.
with them.
Yes,
Yeah.
they
And
extend from his teeth. They cut into
they
angles.
break all the time.
It just
never
throws
speaks.
me back into like flashbacks of going to the dentist. I hate
Gotta
it.
be Moonfish. Yep. Let's move
That's a
on
good
quickly
one.
from that. Ledge. Thank you.
Does anyone else want to go first while I collect my thoughts?
Steel does.
Yes.
I mean, I can skip you real quick and then come back.
Don't come back to him.
So no, of course we'll come back. So I have a least favorite character who's a villain and a least favorite character who's a student. For villain, for me, an easy least favorite villain is Muscular.
Okay.
I do not like him. He doesn't even have like a lot of the villains have like some sort of motivation or backstory where I can actually sympathize with them somewhat. Like I sympathize with Dabi. I actually
So,
sympathize
you
with
like-
Shigaraki to a certain extent.
You prefer villains that
But-
you can identify with and feel sorry for.
Well, villains who have some
see a
sort of a
problem here.
sympathetic side. Okay? Because Muscular, all he cares about is just being able to destroy and kill.
Are you saying he doesn't have a place in the show, or you just don't like his character?
I don't like his character.
She feels
Okay.
like he was kind of just put in there as an enemy to
He has
beat.
a place in the show. It was certainly an
Yeah.
important moment.
Yes.
But like you see, he's willing to kill a helpless child
Oh yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
take joy
Definitely.
in that.
Well, the thing
Like,
is,
that's awful.
to be honest, there'd probably be more villains like that out there than we would think. I mean,
Really?
human trafficking is a huge problem right now. So I feel like that would be more of a problem than
But
people would
it
realize.
serves like even in human trafficking, like not to defend human traffickers, let that go on my tombstone.
This
But
let's not put
even
that
in
on the
cases
title.
of, like there's a purpose to it, to them at least. Like they're making money off of this. Muscular, you get the sense that he doesn't care about what money he might make off this. He just wants to be able to hurt and kill people. And that's why I just am like, no. And he doesn't even seem like he's insane. He just gleefully enjoys murder.
I feel
for
like that's the sign that he's insane.
Okay, for least favorite student, for a second I did consider Monoma from class 1B. He's the
Annoying
copycat
kid,
quirk,
probably.
Oh, the really annoying,
the
smug
annoying one
kid.
who's always like taunting class 1A. But
Yeah.
he also is like kind of entertaining in his own
Mhm.
way, especially when Kendo will like karate chop him on the back of the neck. That's funny to me. It is, because she does it with like no build up every time. But I feel like I'm gonna sound mean saying who I actually like
You will.
landed on, because I don't dislike this guy. I just don't think he contributes much to the
I know
story.
who it is.
It's Sato,
Which one's Sato?
the guy,
sugar?
the Sugar Rush quirk.
Oh,
So like
discount
the thing is, he
any character with strength.
he eats, like he'll eat sweet things, and sugar will make him more muscular, but it also decreases his brain power. Like the more he does it, the dumber
Oh.
he gets at that moment. And I don't know, it's just not that useful. He's a nice guy in the little bit of screen time that you get of him, like when they first move into the dorms and he's feeling all
Yes,
happy
he's
because
a
he
cool
baked for
person.
everybody. That's cute, and I don't dislike him as a person. I just don't. I
So he's
don't
not
know.
your least favorite character. He's just one of the characters you think is useless.
Useless sounds so harsh, though.
Well, his abilities. Like, he obviously serves a purpose in the fact that he is one of the more uplifting characters that we can see.
Yeah, he is pretty positive, which is nice.
Yeah, but he doesn't
and
really
I-
play a big role, and he doesn't.
And I like the headcanon that after they all move in together, he bakes for them, like, a lot. Which is cute. It's cute to think about, you know?
It's probably true, because they've shown it a couple times.
It's most likely true. But yeah, it sounds mean, but yeah, kind of. I'd probably
no
have
problem.
to follow him.
So,
Alright,
Ledge, have you thought of one?
All right. My second least favorite is, and I don't hate him. I think it's an underdeveloped character.
That's a joke.
Tail. I'm not sure his name. The next quirk is
Ojiro?
Tail.
Yeah, that's what I thought
Yeah.
Steel was going to say.
They
no, I love
haven't
Ojiro.
shown him fight like once.
Yeah,
or,
that's true.
Like what he says, he's completely forgotten about. Basically, like
Good point.
10 level forgotten.
He has a lot of potential, though. Like, my thing is, it's not very
It's a
realized
tail.
potential right now. No, but he's a martial arts specialist. Like, canonically.
It's a tail.
No, he's
hey, Ledge, imagine
just about
fighting
quirk.
someone with a tail as thick as your torso. You want to get hit by that? No.
Right, yeah,
Goodbye,
it's
ribs.
really strong.
Imagine being
But what's he gonna do against the sword?
Block it with his super dense tail.
Like, would you really want to be pimp
Who said
slapped
it
with a
was
tail that
pimp?
thick? Like,
No, we're not saying he's weak as a human, guys. Just, I mean, obviously he has a quirk, so
I do like Ojiro. Well, his quirk is a mutation.
yeah, he's cool. He acts like
Kyran.
There's no secret
Except-
ability
and
in
that's
the
loud.
Damn it.
work or
Kyran.
some, like, super
Ah,
level
dang it.
superhero you're
Edit
gonna
this out.
reach with that.
At
Okay,
54.
well,
Sorry,
alright.
guys.
Just put a bleep over
Yo,
it.
yeah, you could put notes on time
Hey,
on your.
Kyran. I already
You
am.
just edit it out. Okay.
I write it down here. Kyran. 27
Got it?
minutes, 33 minutes, 54 minutes.
All right.
Oh,
3
no.
times all freaking
You want to
sage.
count down so we can start the
Wow.
podcast?
3, 2, 1.
You gonna
go.
get onto me?
All right, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. Anyway.
Hold up,
my
hold up. I want to
first-
say something here. That is the third time I've had to edit out Sage saying my name.
Okay, fine. Get on to me. That I've known you for so long, and I know you.
Kyran.
Wow. Wow. Can you
Okay,
guys
we
just
weren't
let me
going.
go?
This is gonna be edited out already. You said, "Hold on a second."
Just do like TV style censoring over it.
You said, "Yeah,
Are
this
you
wasn't
guys
a good
ready to let me
podcast.
go?
Relax."
Yeah,
That
that's
way
how to
it
beat
won't
that.
be
All right,
Okay.
you know I'm trying, so don't get on to me. Just you don't have to say anything, really. You can just
I
make
did
a
it
note.
for
Oh, I
I'll
feel
content.
remember.
like
I
the
did it
I'll
for
first
remember.
time
content.
we didn't need to
Fine.
say anything,
You could
or
put a
the
beep in
third.
it.
I'm
Oh,
trying to
you
figure
can
it out.
put beeps over it.
I'm looking up. I'm gonna look it up
That's
how
what
to put out a beep.
All right.
Yeah, do that. Because it'll be funnier.
I'm gonna
that
do
way.
that every time you speak,
would be
Steel.
funny.
Every time. No.
Yes.
It's just one
not up to
long
you.
beep.
Yes.
I'm upset now.
Okay.
All right, Ledge, continue.
Ready?
You are allowed
Continue.
to speak.
I'm the host. Continue.
That's fair. This time around.
Stop saying the last word. I'm the host. Continue.
Shut up! Oh my gosh! All right.
Okay, go
My
ahead.
least favorite character is Deku.
Oh, my boy.
I knew it was coming.
Your boy still has a parent, alright? The hardest thing he ever had to go through
Oof.
is waiting 5 minutes instead of 4 minutes in line for an ice cream cone. Never stops crying, was gifted the strongest quirk in the world,
Oof.
and he just gifted through life
Biffs
and
it.
given a free
He
show,
biffs it.
given the main character. He doesn't deserve it.
He just
Kyran, do you have the
Both is on
power to
through
mute
life.
Ledge?
I don't.
messed
no.
up so many situations.
Oh, that's great.
Actually,
That's
to finish,
Every time
to finish
he
this,
does
I got
that,
a quick
it's harsh.
question. What do you think is stronger, Mirio and Deku, or Mirio with one for all for one?
Mirio
One for
for
all.
all.
No, Mirio and Deku, because you have Mirio or Lemillion is strong enough on his own with what he's
Yeah.
developed and how he's developed it. If
Oh,
you have
absolutely.
attacking from two fronts, it is
Yeah.
always more dangerous than from one front.
I'm gonna agree with Kyran, undoubtedly.
Okay.
Two
You know,
opponents.
it's a direct quote from someone who can see the future that Mirio would become the most. I want to say fabulous was the word he used, or
I
like
don't
what
think
was
he
the word?
said fabulous.
Fantastic. Wait.
Like if he did get the quirk, or
Dang it. No. He said he will become something hero while his quirk was
I
gone.
remember.
What was the word? It was a specific word.
I think
But
he said
basically-
he'd become a splendid hero.
I think Splendid.
I don't
right.
think it was splendid.
He-
He
well,
said
I
the
watched
most.
the
Whatever
sub.
it was, he said the most though.
I did
So,
watch the sub, and you watched
He basically
the
is
dub. so-
saying he'll be number one, not Deku.
Well, then that literally removes the entire point.
Well, here's the thing that
Maybe
kind
it was
of like,
splendid, but it was the most splendid.
here's the thing that gets me about that though is some portion of that could have been in an attempt to comfort Mirio. He's watching his mentor die, you know. I don't think he was lying to him per se.
No, it wasn't a lie. I remember it. He didn't
He said
say
it
like
hasn't
you will
changed.
become the number one. Here, it was something about you become an amazing hero. or
You're
it
destined to
was
become a great
Which he
hero, I think.
definitely will.
I don't think we said the word. Well, let me
I-
look it up.
I
I mean, I'll
wanted
look
That's
it
what I'm
up
doing.
after
That's
this.
what I'm doing right now.
But
You guys can keep going. I'm looking.
I'm pretty much gonna end there unless you guys have any
Well,
more notes.
Other than just a general like not really a note per se, just want to say I know that none of us talked about too much about our never-ending hatred for Mineta. But yeah,
It
he
doesn't need to be.
he could go die.
Everyone hates Meta.
It's
That's
not
what his
just
character is. We don't need
it's
to
not
talk
just that
about
his
it.
quirk is dumb or that he's a pervert and stupid.
Yeah, it's not
It's
that.
also that
It's
he's a
everything
coward.
else.
Like in every
That's the
situation
The
he is
hate
a
our
we're
coward.
made for. We don't need to talk about it. That wasn't an accident.
I hate it. Like, why is he there while Shinso is in the general education?
Outstanding,
course.
perhaps? An outstanding hero?
I still don't feel like that's
I
quite
feel
right.
like it was a more almost feminine word, but not in a bad way. Like just more feminine than that.
Fabulous.
It was like
That's the word
fabulous. What was the word? Okay, I don't want to load it because it's going to make my voice lag. So I'm going to wrap up the stream there. Thanks, guys, for watching. If you enjoyed it, you can like it if you'd like, but that's up to you.
Please leave a comment at the bottom if you have an idea for us that you'd like us to address, or a character versus a character that you'd like to see.
Or any comments on the verses we discussed if you think the outcome would be different.